Sup guys, King here, bringing you another review on the latest Boruto anime episode. Last week's episode served as a way of capping off the current arc storyline, and this week's episode serves as a way of capping off and also beginning storylines for certain characters. Now, this week's episode focuses on Denki and Iwabe. Now, there's been a lot of theories going on that these guys are not going to be around, considering they are not in the manga. But I've had a theory for a while now. I've even said it a few times that these guys are going to pass their exams and that they are going to end up with Metal Lee's team. And there's a lot of foreshadowing, possible setup and hints in this episode that sees this possibly happening in the next couple of episodes. So we've got Denki, and he's trying to, he's very good when it comes to the mental parts of the exam, but when it comes to the physical, he's just failing miserably. No matter how many times Boruto or Shikadai and the others try to explain to him how to do it, he just can't get the hang of it. And then you have Iwabe, who's basically the opposite of Denki. He's very good at the physical stuff, but he's not very good at the clever and mental stuff. So he's failing in that department. Again, no matter how many times he's sitting down reading and having Boruto teach him, it's just not getting through to him. People have a different method, different way of learning things, and these two just, their method of learning and trying to learn isn't really working. So you've got these two basically coming together eventually and helping each other out. But Denki's part first, obviously, when he's trying to learn all the physical stuff, he ends up being sort of helped, taught by Metal Lee. And that leads into a little segment where they're trying to climb a wall, and you got Metal Lee basically. We know he doesn't have any jutsu basically. He's basically like Rock Lee, and I believe like Might Guy as well. They didn't have any jutsu, but they still prevailed. And it's very funny that because that's pretty much what Denki is really in a way. But obviously he's got ninjutsu. He's got the spiritual energy. He can actually do it if he puts his mind to it. But yeah, he's getting taught by Metal Lee, and then we end up getting introduced to Rock Lee. He ends up coming in. We do find out officially that yeah, he is Metal Lee's dad. And we get a little moment where he's like hugging Denki and saying that youth will triumph and all that basic Might Guy shit that we had in the previous series. So it's very fun to see sort of history repeating itself here as well. And again, it just feels like a big, massive sort of foreshadowing, because we even get sort of a Naruto moment when Rock Lee ends up giving the pajamas or the ninja outfit that he's wearing and that Metal Lee's wearing to Denki, and we do actually see Denki wearing it by the end of the episode just to sort of help out Iwabe. But it's just funny that sort of reminds me of the beginning stuff with Rock Lee and Might Guy and Naruto in the first series. So it's kind of like, again, history callback there. But again, it feels like a big massive hint that just maybe if these guys pass, it's going to be Rock Lee that's going to take Denki under his wing, and him and Metal Lee are going to be part of a team, and that only leaves Iwabe as well. So I do feel like that's going to happen. I do feel like it's hinting strongly that Metal Lee's team is going to consist of Denki and Iwabe. But yeah, we get these two guys, Iwabe and Denki, coming together eventually, because again, they're just polar opposites. He's good at one thing, he's good at one thing, he's bad at this, he's good at that. So, they end up training each other. You got Iwabe teaching Denki how to do the wall run, or the wall walk, and he learns it immediately through how Iwabe teaches him, and eventually of course Denki teaches Iwabe how to read and get the theories and all that material into his head, and they train so hard to the point where eventually they're getting ready for the exams. You've got the other characters coming in, you got Boruto coming in and supporting everyone, buying them hamburgers as well. We get a little funny moment here with spicy burgers, which is great to see. It's great to see that Boruto is just very caring as a character as well, like he's supporting them, and he does feel bad as well eventually at one point when he feels like the reason that these guys are late for the exam, that he might have something to do with it, and he takes responsibility as well for that, and notifying Shido that they have to wait. They have to wait for these guys to come so they can take the exam. I mean, they trained so hard, it would be pointless if they didn't. But eventually, these guys, they end up turning up late for the exam. They don't end up doing it, and the reason for that is because of a fire that ends up happening in the village. Just a normal fire that you've got Denki saying they should just leave and let the fire brigade handle it because they're going to be late for the exam. But of course, a bunch of children get trapped, and Iwabe goes in trying to save them. Eventually, Denki comes in to help out as well. He climbs up the wall, finally learning that method, and Iwabe himself, having read all those books and stuff, ends up figuring out how to connect all the wires and such to fix the fire sprinklers. So in the end, they end up applying a real life. They apply their training to a real life situation, and that ends up saving the lives of these kids and themselves as well, which also ends up giving them a pass on the test, because as Shino explains it, the whole point of a test is to see if you guys will be able to apply this in real life, and you guys applied it in real life. There's no need for you to take the test. You basically passed, just by chance by doing that. So these guys end up passing, and obviously that means they're probably going to be graduating from the academy along with everyone else. There is a very good message in there. Of course, we get a big understanding of Iwabe's character about how he had friends and they all graduated and they left him behind, and that kind of made him sort of bitter. And you can see he doesn't want to go through that again, because he's gone through it so many times, making friends, having them leave, and him being all alone, and Denki being the one to sort of just, push him through, telling him that, he wants to be like Boruto, he wants to be a shinobi, he wants to be like the others, he wants to pass with everyone, and he wants to pass with Iwabe, and sort of being Iwabe's hope in terms of pushing him through to get to the end. So it was a very nice message, and it was a very nice way of developing the characters as well. So that's good to see. It just makes me very curious now where these two are going to end up. But I am very, very much convinced they are going to end up on Metal Lee's team, and that maybe, I'm not too sure if Rock Lee is actually the sensei for Metal Lee's. I assume he is actually, in which case that'll be very interesting to see, like father and son on the same team. Like he'll be the squad leader, he'll be teaching them. But yeah, I imagine that's how it's gonna be done, and Denki and Iwabe are gonna end up on his team as well. So because I feel like that's gonna work out overall in the end for everyone. You got Denki, who's the brains, you've got Metal Lee, who's sort of like the physical fighter type, and then you've got Iwabe, who's just very good at ninjutsu. So it kind of rounds up everything all the way. But yeah, I'm hoping that is the case, because they've been focusing a lot on these two. I mean, these two were introduced pretty much in the very beginning of the anime, and just to sort of forget about them would be kind of pointless. You've given us these characters, developed them. They've been developed. Don't throw them away now. Like, have them be part of this core group, and it feels like they are going to be. So it will be nice to see that. But I imagine that once we do get the full storyline going, these characters will sort of go into the background. They'll probably play a similar role to what Shino and Kiba sort of played in Shippuden. Like, they were sort of there, they did the little things, but they weren't really character focuses, if that makes sense. The characters that got a lot more focus in Shippuden, for example, where Shikamaru and his team, Hinata and Naruto's team, and the others were sort of sidelined until the very end when we got to the war arc and they got their moment. So I imagine it'll be something similar to that if that's what they're going for. But yeah, it'll be curious to see how it's done. But yeah, overall it was a very, very good episode. I liked it. It was nice to get some funny moments. It was nice to get a more understanding of Iwabe's character. It was great to see Denki and Iwabe grow and develop as well, and it'll be great to see these guys being part of this core group of the main cast and characters going forward. But yeah, I just can't wait for the Naruto Gaiden to start. Next week we're getting a Sarada focused episode where she has to deliver a doll to someone in a hospital. A lot of theories going around that the doll is the doll that Boruto ends up ripping or ruining, which belongs to Himawari. So it might be that. The girl in the hospital might be Himawari. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But it'll be interesting to see how this all ties together, because the week after that we're getting another retelling or an extended version of the day Naruto became Hokage, and then on the 9th of August we are getting the first part of the Naruto Gaiden episode. So yeah, we're getting there now, bit by bit. Boruto is sort of chilling now as a bit, and then it's gonna pick up again gradually. So yeah, we're getting there now. Anyway, overall good episode as always. Like and subscribe, whatever, and I shall see you when I shall see you. Sorry about that. Take care and bye.